The MCU and its filmmakers are known for including a lot of nice little throwbacks and details in each of the franchise's editions. With Spider-Man Far From Home fresh out in theaters, you can bet your butt that the Web-Slinger sequel contains a whole lot of tiny touches that really expand the world of the MCU, and potentially hint at stories that we may see come to fruition later on down the line. So today we are taking a look at the top 10 small details you missed in Spider-Man Far From Home. Now we're going to be talking about details that were noted in passing, not Easter eggs. You can actually check out our list of Easter eggs on our channel for the lowdown on all of those. And before we begin, it's kind of a given, but be warned, there are definitely a whole lot of spoilers for Spider-Man Far From Home in this video. So with that in mind, let's get to it. And at number 10, where's everyone else? After Fury has brought Peter to their undercover gathering spot in Venice, Peter asks him why he hasn't called upon other heroes who he deems to be more up to the task. He's informed that Thor is off-world, Doctor Strange is unavailable, and to not invoke Captain Marvel's name. While we knew about Thor thanks to the ending of Avengers Endgame seeing him taking off with the Guardians of the Galaxy, the other two heroes' whereabouts are unknown. With the promise of a Doctor Strange feature film on its way, having Stephen Strange be unavailable is quite curious. There's some speculation that his sequel will take place in another dimension. It would explain his absence. As for Carol Danvers, having seen the final post-credit scene of Far From Home, we can only assume that Fury's reaction here in this scene is because Fury is actually Talos, the Skrull who is revealed to have shapeshifted into Fury, helping him out while Fury takes what appears to be a bit of a vacation in space, among other business. And really, Carol Danvers is sort of like the Skrull Jesus to Talos and the Skrulls, if we're being honest. She kind of saved their whole race. So it makes sense that he would be protective. But where in the galaxy Carol is during Far From Home is still a big question mark. And at number 9, Iron Man is everywhere. Literally. Throughout every setting that Peter finds himself in, there is a ton of Iron Man art or tributes decorating the background of shots. In his school, there's a bunch of Iron Man student-made art hanging on the wall behind Peter and Ned when they speak to MJ. There's an Iron Man poster in one of the airports they arrive in. And there's graffiti of Iron Man that Peter is confronted with after avoiding Fury's calls in New York. And in Prague, there's even a shrine to the character on a wall that Peter passes by. There's also a ton of other Tony Stark Iron Man movie throwbacks throughout, and the film does a great job at highlighting parallels between Tony's origins and Peter's newfound responsibilities. Moving on to number 8, Thor and physics. This one's from the same scene as our number 10, when Fury aka Talos introduces Spider-Man to Quentin Beck. After Peter geeks out about the elementals coming from another Earth in the multiverse, he mentions that he and his classmates study Thor in physics class after noting that he was once also a myth. It's a small detail that really helps paint a picture of what a post-Avengers world looks like, and how much the Avengers' involvement on Earth 616 has changed the way that people's viewpoints of the world are. Thor literally breaks the laws of physics, so to civilians, his and the Avengers' existence opens up a whole new school of thought and study. It's also worth noting that Beck lying about where he's from means that we still don't see the grander implications that the snaps may have had on the multiverse. When it was revealed in the trailer from Far From Home that he was from another Earth, many believed that this meant we were fully being introduced to the multiverse, and that we'd start seeing MCU stories take place on different Earths. That may not be something the MCU plans on diving into just yet from the sounds of it. And at 7, every Spidey suit. After Peter discovers the truth about Mysterio, he confronts the villain, and the two duke it out in an abandoned building, where Mysterio uses his drones and illusions to trick Peter into thinking that he's completely lost his mind, and is in a surreal world of sorts. During this, we see a lot of throwbacks to Peter's history in the MCU, and even a terrifying skeletal Iron Man who crawls out of his own grave. But one really neat detail about this sequence is that it features every single Spider-Man suit that we've seen up on the big screen in the MCU up until this point, including the original suit that Peter had made during his early days of crime fighting prior to meeting Tony Stark. And at 6, BFP. While Spider-Man Homecoming confirmed that Uncle Ben was once a character who existed but passed away, there hasn't really been a direct reference to what happened to the character beyond the fact that he's no longer with Peter or May. But there has been a few subtle references and Easter eggs to the character that have appeared, including one in Far From Home that some of you may have booked from the movie's trailer. Peter's suitcase contains the initials BFP, which stands for Benjamin Franklin Parker. And at 5, Iron Spider Suit. Another little detail from the same scene as our last number. While Peter is packing his luggage for his Euro trip, he glances at his Spider-Man suit in his closet. But perhaps what's cooler is when he takes a look at his other Spidey suit situated in his room, the Iron Spider Suit, which is contained in a globe of sorts shoved in the corner of his room connected to a bunch of cables and wires, and appears to be floating within said globe tube-esque thing. It's a neat way to depict the differences in the suits and the fact that the Iron Spider suit was a more advanced Stark tech creation compared to his original Stark-built suit in Homecoming. And at number 4, Flash's parents. Towards the end of the movie, when Peter and his classmates all return home, there's a brief moment at the airport where we see a shot shot of Flash Thompson being greeted by a driver rather than his family. All of his friends have family members there eagerly waiting for their kids who had just endured the events of Mysterio's reign of terror in Europe. Flash asks the driver where his parents are and seems rather disappointed. This could be a reference to the fact that in the comics, Flash's parents aren't the greatest. His father Harrison Thompson is abusive towards Flash, so yeah, kinda hints to not a lovely family relationship there. And at 3, Spider-Man's Cap moment. There's a handful of references in the film to Captain America, with the most obvious one being when Happy Hogan tosses the medieval shield at a drone but fails miserably, questioning out loud, how does Cap do that? But a more subtle one comes in the form of Peter having his own Captain America moment during the Tower Bridge battle. After he realizes his web shooters are all webbed out, he gets creative and makes use of his surroundings, grabbing a piece of fallen drone debris that has gone haywire, and uses soundwave technology of sorts. He picks up the Tower Bridge sign, using it like a shield, and then swings the drone debris around like a hammer, tossing it up into the air at the other drones to cause a detonation effect and blow them up. The moment resembles Captain America in Avengers Endgame when he grabs hold of Thor's Mjolnir and his shield and then approaches Thanos. And at number 2, Avengers Tower. During one scene where Peter is web-slinging his way throughout the city, we can see part of the New York skyline that, previously in the MCU, would have featured Avengers Tower. The tower is currently under construction. We know from previous films that Tony had moved the Avengers base outside of the city, but what's still a big unknown is who has purchased the tower. There's a lot of speculation over who that buyer is. Some believe that it has been bought out by Norman Osborn, which will act as a way to introduce the character and Osborn Industries into the MCU. Others think that the reason why we don't know yet is because Marvel Studios and Disney were waiting for the Fox rights to be officially theirs first, and that the Avengers Tower will become the Baxter Building, the home base of the Fantastic Four in the comics. What we do know is that, based on the construction and renovations going on in the background of the shot, that someone has purchased the tower, and it definitely has a new owner. Whether or not that'll be important down the line is still a mystery. And finally, in at number 1, the KREE sleeper cell. There's a moment at the beginning of the film when we first see Nick Fury and Maria Hill roll up in a car to inspect a tornado-torn town after hearing reports that the tornado had a face. It's where they first encounter Mysterio. But before they encounter Quentin Beck, the two have a brief conversation in which it is mentioned that there's a KREE sleeper cell on Earth. This could potentially have some grander implications, since the last time that we saw the KREE in the MCU, which was in Captain Marvel, they weren't overly happy about Carol and Fury teaming up to help stop their Skrull genocide. It could be possible that Fury and the Skrulls have been working to keep an eye on any KREE activity in the galaxy, and that the Supreme Intelligence may have a scheme brewing in terms of getting back at humans for the trouble they've caused the extraterrestrial race. Alright, there we have it, friends. What other details did you notice in the film that surprised you? Give us a shout in the comments below and let us know your thoughts. Also, be sure to check out our channel for other Spider-Man Far From Home content, including Easter eggs you missed lists and Far From Home Ending Explained, which features a breakdown of the 2 post-credit scenes. In the meantime though, thanks for watching, friends. I'll catch you on the next video.